This podcast is rated IS for incredibly silly and definitely contains bad words, bad jokes, and other bad content that should not be heard by anyone, least of all children. Or maybe it should be. We don't know. We're still not their parents. You're listening to the Starforge podcast with Scya and Mal, two nerdy humans who still have a lot to say about Star Wars: The Old Republic and all its features. Rest assured, the podcast is, as always, working as intended. This is episode 23, Epic Events. Hello, SWTOR players. I am Mal.
And I'm Scya.
I'm Mal.
Get out of here. We just had our April Fool's episode, and Mal cut together a bunch of hot takes of silliness. If you haven't heard it yet, you can hear it on starforgepodcast.com, where all these special bonus episodes are located.
Indeed. So let's start today first with some non-SWTOR, but kind of SWTOR, but mostly Star Wars news. What's this note you have written here, Scya?
I'm very excited. Apparently, Star Wars: The Old Republic is so popular that I was able to snag a press pass for covering it at Star Wars Celebration, the biggest convention related to Star Wars. They do have some checks and balances for the system. I don't know what the checks are, but apparently we met them, so I'll be able to go as official media to the event. I'm very excited.
That is so cool. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear all your stories. Excitement. Can you ask them things? Who will be there?
I mean, I won't get any special ability to talk to celebrities. I'm not going to go walk up to Mark Hamill and be like, "Hey, how good is that blue milk?" Not quite like that.
Security.
But I will have the special badge, and the biggest thing I'm happy about is that I won't have to purchase a ticket. And I now have one I can sell. I'm trying to get it to a SWTOR player if I can, because the 4-day tickets are sold out now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can have a giveaway, make everybody fight.
No, I need to recoup the cost.
Fight for it.
Dang, no way.
Fight for it and then pay me for it. Pay me for the privilege of fighting for this ticket.
Ooh, I think that's something I'm definitely up for. I do like seeing people fight to the death over things involving me, and we'll be talking about that a little more in our next segment.
Yeah, because that game we all know and love, SWTOR, has some epic events of its own. Flying solo. All right, so first, we're going to talk about these events, the rotating set of events that SWTOR has to offer people, most of which can be done when you're flying solo without a group. Scya, what are those events that the people can partake in besides your annual birthday death party? Lay it on me.
There's 8 events total that players can participate in the game. Event is something that is a limited time set of quests or activities that you can only do while the event is running. Some of them happen multiple times a year. Some only happen once a year. At the moment, we have Relics of the Gree, Bounty Contract Week, Rakghoul Resurgence, Pirate Incursion, sometimes known as the Dantooine event, the Ultimate Swoop Rally event, the Feast of Prosperity, the Nar Shadda Nightlife, and Life Day.
Let it be known that Dark vs. Light is also in the event tab. And me, Mal, I would like to see them bring that back as a rotating event because I think it would be really fun. They would obviously have to fix spawn timers and stuff like that to make it fun, but I think it's doable. Or maybe it's not, Who knows these days with them?
They've actually talked about bringing this event back before, as it's a fairly common request. The Dark vs. Light event was a longer, limited time event where you had to complete a series of quite difficult challenges across all parts of the game, and you could get some really fantastic rewards. However, a lot of players expressed that they were more interested in the rewards than grinding out the events, and a lot of players felt very pressured to get those events done during the time, as this event was probably never coming back. The developers have said that they would like to bring back the rewards, which they actually have. The big reward was Master Daz Ranos, who's now available through Galactic Seasons, but there's a good chance Dark versus Light will probably never make its way back, and its reincarnation is actually Galactic Season, so I'm sorry to dash your hopes, Mal.
I really just wanted them to bring back those bosses, those world bosses outside.
Oh, those are actually a completely different system, the Dark versus Light bosses. Those are part of the Dark versus Light system, and they have said they should bring those back. Those are also a lot of fun.
So there's Dark versus Light event and Dark versus Light system.
Correct. Very confusing.
God, how did I get that confused? Clear as fucking blue muddy milk.
Both of those are gone now, but we're going to be talking about the events that are currently in the game.
All right, so maybe they'll bring back that Dark versus Light system, world bosses, whatever. Let's just start talking about what we have currently. So the first thing on the list is the Rakghoul Resurgence.
And this event is so cool because it was technically the very first event in the game, and when it was first released, it was in a very different form. It was released as a one-time event surprise on Dantooine. Basically, a ship crash landed in the desert, and everyone got to go discover what happened. More of the story and more quests were released over time, so you didn't even get to see everything at once. And it was so neat. There wasn't that many different types of content in the game, not very many operations. So basically, everyone funneled in to check out that brand new Rakghoul event, and there was chaos as the Rakghoul virus spread, and there was all kinds of fun things you could fight. Like there was an infected dewback in Outlaw's Den, and you could also fight infected Trapjaw.
Marcy, that's crazy. I barely remember that. I know that happened, but it was 10 years ago now, and it only happened the one time, and I just barely remember it.
Right. So a couple months later, within that same year, they also had another one-time event. This one never made it back into the rotating schedule, and that was the Grand Acquisitions Race. Some people called it the Shevin event on Nar Shadda. Did you ever get to check that one out?
Yes, and I've only ever heard it called the Shevin event. So there you go.
Right, I had to look up what it was called. You could ride a broken Swoop bike and solve various puzzles. It was a little more hodgepodge, and it kind of makes sense that they never brought it back a second time. But they did bring back the individual rewards, and you can now get all of them in various methods in the game these days.
Yeah, I know it was called the Shevin event. I barely remember it. I gotta go check. Check my achievements and see if I acquired those.
I don't even know if it had achievements at that point.
Oh no, you're right. 2012.
Right?
Nope. April 2013 is when achievements were introduced.
And I do want to circle back to the Rakghoul event in its current form. I believe it was a year or two later. It came back as this rotating event that traveled between planets in underground tunnels. And I love the Rakghoul event. I really, really like it. I think the rewards are super cool. I think it has the most varied rewards out of all the events. I love that there's a variety of activities. You can do solo stuff, group stuff. There's kind of world bosses involved. A little bit of everything for everyone there.
I like it. This time around, I actually went through again and finished off some of my achievements. I have now completed the eradication of infected beings.
And you did that one where you had to go
yes.
infect like 1,000 people?
No, where you have to kill. I did the kills. I went in the tunnel and I did the kills. The 1,000 kills of the infected things and the kills of the Rakghouls. All of the killing, except the killing of people in PvP. All of the NPC killing has been done by me.
So when I take a look at events, especially when I was first playing the game and I was very completionist about achievements, the way I like to take them on is first just try the event the first time, get used to all the activities, see which parts I like and don't like, then try and collect all of the rewards, which you have various paths to go get those. And then once I'm done. I've done everything. I collected every reward. I've done every activity. Then I take a look at the achievements, and some of them are really fun. Like some of them are quite interesting and send you off to go find hidden things that you wouldn't have found otherwise. The Rakghoul event is a really great example of this. And if you feel like you're done with the Rakghoul event, I highly recommend go back and take a look at the achievements. There are some very special ones for the Rakghoul events involving pets.
I got those actually a while ago. Lord of the Racklings.
Yeah, such a fun little title too.
It is fun. So the Rakghoul event. How do you feel about it? It's not my favorite.
Do you have a favorite? I don't know if I have a favorite.
I do, kind of. I think it's coming up next. But I will add, I love that now they have added an item to the vendor where you can do an AoE vaccine.
Oh, I love it.
For when you go in groups of people and you're like, does everyone have their vaccine? And nobody answers you. It's just crickets. You can just pop a vaccine.
And everybody gets
for any
it.
dummy you have in your group that doesn't have one.
I've purchased 2 so far, but I keep forgetting to leave it in my legacy bank or leave it on the character I actually am playing on. So I never have it on hand. And I'm like, no.
I don't know why I even keep them in my legacy bank, because I go down to those tunnels to do shit and then I never have it. So I just go buy another stupid backpack. So I should throw them away. Disposable backpacks.
Speaking of disposable backpacks, the Gree want to carry us to victory, or have us carry them to victory. We're not quite sure. They're a bit of a mysterious bunch.
Yes, the next event on the list is actually my favorite. It is the Relics of the Gree event. That is located on Ilum, and it's pretty much the only event in the game, apart from achievements, that encourage you to PvP, and in creative ways, not just kill 500 other people. There's kind of like a game involved in it.
So I grew up, I like to use that term, I grew up back in my day. I was on a player versus player server, and this meant that no matter what area in the game you're at, you were susceptible to being attacked. At the moment, the whole game doesn't really work that way anymore. To do PvP, you have to actively choose to go into a PvP zone, doesn't matter your server. But back in the day when I was on that PvP server, I could be attacked at any moment, and there was a lot of PvP in that area, not only in the main circular area where PvP is not only encouraged but kind of required, but the whole area was just a hotbed. It was really, really great. In today's incarnation of the event and the servers, if you want to complete the objectives in the center ring, you must enter an area where you can be and must be flagged for PvP. So people can come at you, basically, if you decide you want to complete those objectives.
Right. And it also, I don't know if we want to talk about this now or later. It has the 2 unique world bosses.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, those are fun. Those are nice and easy too. You can bring people in to fight them, and they're just neat looking. A giant wampa and a giant worm.
It was so exciting coming from Final Fantasy XI to SWTOR, where almost everything is instanced, to have this big event that's brand new to the game and to have it have 2 world bosses that everybody was fighting over. That was like our bread. That was your bread and butter in Final Fantasy Online, was to go and camp and pull and claim. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that was not enjoyable was the walk between the 2 of them.
So both those last 2 events, the Rakghoul Resurgence and the Relics of the Gree, also have an operations boss, and we'll be talking about that more later.
Right. So, Scya, does the Gree event give you anything special that you really like?
Oh, yes. So we're talking about what's my favorite event. I don't know if I have a favorite event, like, overarchingly, but the Gree event has my favorite rewards. They are so visually beautiful, especially during a time in the game when there wasn't as many cosmetics as there are now. So at the launch of this event, it gave us a very useful item. When you had to mod your gear, it gave us the first offhands that you could mod and share between your characters back and forth. So that was like just, yay, everybody's cheering and excited and trying to get these awesome items. And then cosmetically, they have a really cool set of weapons, probably one of the first weapons in the game that were easily accessible, that had a kind of built-in weapon tuning and animation, as well as these armors that have glowy bits on them, and just are really neat looking, the Gree armors.
I love them. It's the real world calling the Evergreen podcast.
That was actually the alarm for us to go record.
Oh, good job. You made it. I love the scaling armor. I still wear the blue. One on my merc. It just suits her. I just don't like the belt. The belt has that weird jelly roll on the back. Yeah.
Toilet paper holder. Toilet
paper is scarce these days. Maybe not in the SWTOR universe. Who knows? Anyway.
When people ask, is there armors like outside the cartel market that are cool? That's definitely one of the ones I like to direct them towards. And I'm still using pieces of the scaling armor sets on my super awesome characters, even to this day, years down the line.
Yeah, I just, as usual, as we know of my love of TFB, I just love the aesthetic of everything Gree. It just looks so cool. It just looks so futuristic and cool and glowy, just in all the right ways.
On the opposite side of that aesthetic is the Bounty Contract Week. The Bounty Contract Week is the most solo friendly of all the events that we're going to talk about today, I think you could say, as it's really simple. There's not a ton of nuance towards it. You pick up a contract, you go find the NPC out in the open world, and you bag them and tag them or walk them in or carbonite them, whatever you choose to do with them. There is this neat little side thing called the Kingpin Quest, and those are a little more interesting. I do recommend trying to collect and complete each of those at least once, and because they're interesting. They have a little more story or a little more stuff going on to them, and I do recommend spreading the Kingpin Quest across multiple characters since you're limited to one per week per character.
Yeah, I haven't really participated in this one since I 100%ed it. Oh, God, I don't know how many years ago. There was a lot of resetting involved to get the bounties that were required to complete the achievements.
Right. So if you've had a chance to play this event, you might also want to take a look into the achievements. There's different achievements to kill and capture each of the different bounties. I think this one has the least replayability though, because much like Mal, once I completed those achievements, I didn't really feel like I had a lot of reason to go back into the event pretty much ever again.
Yeah, not unless I was maybe very close to completing Conquest and one bounty would put me over. This is one of the only events though where I don't help when I get to the end. Like if I get to the end and somebody is fighting, I don't help because I don't know. Are they going for the kill? Are they going for the tag? Because that used to piss me off back in the day when it was, the very popular thing to do. I would be like, stop killing it. I'm trying to tag. God.
I'm trying to carbonite it. I'm trying to capture it alive.
I'd just be spam pressing the little carbonize button like, oh.
So wait a second. So the Mandalorian says, I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold. Warm is alive in this case, and cold is, I guess carbonite?
I mean, I guess you could live in the carbonite. Example,
in
Han Solo.
Star Wars The Old Republic, you can bring them in the carbonite, or you can bring them in not at all. They're dead.
You can ride in the freezer or the microwave. Your choice.
Oh. I don't have anything else to say about the Bounty Contract Week other than it does have some neat looking rewards if you're looking for outlaw, desert, cowboy kind of stuff, if you want to go check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It has those extra little items that go with it, right? Like you have to go out first and bribe people. You talk to those shady characters. You can bribe them with drinks. Or you can stick it to them with interrogation droids.
When she said stick it to them, she made like stabbing motions. It's very clear how her interrogation goes. This is definitely one of those events that you get faster at with time once you learn how everything works for it. One of the ones that doesn't seem to get faster with time is the Dantooine Incursion, the pirate event. I think this is the newest repeating event that comes back multiple times a year, or is that no, the Swoop event's newer. So this one's the newest classic event to be added. Swoop's weird.
We'll talk about that later, but yeah, the pirate incursion, or as some people call it, the Dantooine event. Dantooine. They're on Dantooine. You wrote that you like the heroics. I like them too. I kind of like this area, actually. I would put this as my number 2. I think that the heroics are good. They have some challenge to them. It's really fun. It's really fun. And when we were leveling, it was really crazy because we hadn't done these heroics yet. And we did that one, what is it? Beware of Hugo.
Yes.
We have that dog.
Yes.
And it has all the prisoners. Normally we managed to save all the prisoners, but after 7.0 drop, we were like, oh God, sorry guys. He ate all your friends. There's not even one left.
We'll save who we can save. It's fine.
But it's really fun. And that other one was such a pain in the ass. The one where you can bribe the guy or you can fight him.
Ransom.
Oh,
yeah.
It was such a pain in the ass. I was like, why do we do this to ourselves? We're rich as fuck. Just let me give the guy this money. We'll move on with our lives.
I don't know about post 7.0, I haven't tried them yet, but pre 7.0, at least you could solo them. At least I know you could solo Hugo, and I know you could solo the one with the walker for sure. If you were very skilled, you were very knowledgeable about your class, and you had all your level 75 gear and stuff like that. I really liked that, and I also liked that there was a lot of incentive to get friends, even if you were skilled, because it's a really hard fight and a long fight if you're doing it alone. So none of the other events really have anything quite like that. A real encouragement to do group activities that aren't also large, giant raid groups, because it's kind of hard to get the rewards for the Dantooine event compared to pretty much every other event. You really only get the currency to spend if you're doing the heroics or you're doing the entire like daily event, but still most of the currency for the rewards is from those heroics. I still don't have all the rewards for this event, and I have pretty much everything from every other event.
Yeah, I don't know about the rewards. The bounty rewards were like, to me. I didn't really care for them. I don't know if
I was cranky when I saw the rewards for this one because one of the outfits is just a reskin, and one of them is just the most plain outfit I have ever seen in my life.
lazy. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe I looked and went, I don't really want any of that.
You can, however, get an Ugnaught companion, which is definitely one of a kind. You can get a Cathound mount, which is a big throwback to Knights of the Old Republic. I know. I'm sorry, Mal. You still haven't played it yet.
Nope.
Shame. Ringing my bell of shame.
You can't shame me anymore. It's over. It's old. Bringing up that old shit.
As I'm on like my third playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic. I'm sorry. I'm living in the past.
Keep it evergreen. Stop it.
I'm sorry. And there is a very interesting silly event, and that is the biggest credit sink in the game. If you decide you want to drop 150 million credits, you can receive a very silly item that turns your character yellow and glowy. One of my favorite parts of this silly little toy is that it also works if you decide to use the hut disguise in a stronghold, and you can become a yellow glowing hut. Beautiful.
Wow, you can be the golden glowing hut statue. That's brilliant. We have gear now. When we did it without much gear, I will tell you the heroic with the walker was a little
rough.
No, well, we didn't know what was going on because we both had ranged companions, and then all of a sudden they disappeared. And then all of a sudden Mako was like right next to me. And I was like, hey girl, but like, what are you doing here getting blown up in this laser? So she got blown up and died. But then later we saw she was still healing. I could see Mako and her numbers were coming from the grave.
My God.
And after Vaz's companion died, it was doing the same thing.
I need that for master mode chapters.
The thing was fucked up. It was not working right. So it was very weird.
That's a bug in your favor. I'll take it.
But yeah, like I said, overall, I kind of like this one. And I like the planet. And it has some really fun hidden achievements.
Yes.
To sort of suss out on this planet. And I really like that. It's fun.
They spent a lot of time in the achievements category for this planet. I think it was kind of because it was in between other types of content, like in between expansions and stuff like that. So they were like, let's add some more stuff for players to go look for. And I think that part really paid off. I'm not a huge fan of the solo quests for this planet, but I love the achievements, love the heroics. Really don't ever mind going back to Dantooine for the atmosphere as well.
It was fun and it was well done. So I applaud their effort there.
The Dantooine event, or the Pirate Incursion event, is not the only thing that happens on Dantooine. However, the Ultimate Swoop Rally is another reoccurring event, and it starts on Dantooine, though it's spread out across Dantooine, Onderon, and Tatooine.
Ugh.
I know you don't like this one. This event is so polarizing. Either people love it or hate it, as far as I can tell. I'm in the camp of I love it.
You know, when you do that quest on Zyos where you ride that speeder, and as you ride it, it's so fucking janky and laggy and you rubber band everywhere. Who looked at that and thought, wow, this is so great. Let's make a whole event where you ride a speeder and rubber band all janky like across 3 planets.
It was the developers reading the forums of players saying over and over, we want swoop racing in the game. I haven't seen anyone request swoop racing after they finally released this event.
Yeah, they're like, never mind. We won't request anything else ever. You've ruined enough.
Where's my hood toggle? I think it's a very silly event. I really like that they added something that wasn't combat focused and that was pretty accessible to most players. Like you could jump right into it. They took a lot of feedback when it was on the test server, and I like that a lot as well. There's even a slow mode where you can still collect pretty much all of the rewards and go at very much your own pace, and I like that a lot. It is also, interestingly, the #1 source of credits per minute for questing. I'm not talking about you crafting moguls and GTN players, but for pure do a quest, get credits, you can very easily earn about 2 million credits per hour on a high-level character running the Swoop event.
I really dislike it. I mostly dislike it because when everybody is playing it, and you start your race, if somebody else is on the same course as you and they start 3 seconds ahead of you, now you can't see anything. You can't see where the power-ups are. You can't see where things are that you need to pick up off the ground. It's fucking infuriating. I just get off my speeder and go, well, I'll just try again when nobody else is going.
I consider the missing objectives an additional difficulty level. I'm sorry. You can only race at baby's first racing level. Get up here.
Okay. You're going to have to meet me in the den. That's it. That's it. I've had enough.
But Mal, the Swoop race on Dantooine isn't in Outlaw's Den.
We can drive there. Get on your janky fucking bike and collect all your power-ups that you can see even though they are invisible. God, that one where, what is it? You're
perfection, right? The achievement isn't even working.
Such an idiot. No, the one where you're dumb. The one where you have to be dumb and hit all the stuff. You can't even do that because people who are actually trying to complete it hit the little mines on purpose. No, I'm trying to be dumb. Why are you now you have to drive in a little circle lap until it respawns so that you can step in it again. That is why I don't like that. It does not work very well in the open world.
There is an achievement you can get for this event for hitting many of the obstacles, the mines or the sand traps in this event. And Mal is cranky because everyone else keeps being the perfect idiot. That's the windup of all the reoccurring events that happen multiple times a year. They're not necessarily on a schedule or a calendar. You kind of just have to watch the SWTOR.com developer forums to see what's coming up for the next month or so. They usually only announce it a month ahead. But there are some events that happen around roughly the same time every year and only usually happen once a year. What are those, Mal?
The first, the Feast of Prosperity. Mal, hurry and do the Feast of Prosperity. Mal, it only comes around once a year, Mal. Stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning in Jackass World Boss groups, Mal. It only comes around once a year. Except this year, when it came around twice in the span of 2 months.
It was so strange. Very strange. They had a gap in content when they had to push back the expansion, so they were like, let's just bring back the Thanksgiving event in January and February. It'll be great.
So this one has 2 mini games, World Boss Hunt, one where you, well, it has 3 actually. It has one where you play like the cooking one where you deliver the dishes to the tables. And then it has the one where you get the ingredients and you cook the food. And then it has the one where you hunt the world bosses and grab the ingredients and then return them to Nar Shadda. It's fine. I guess, like, I did the achievements to do them, but man, that one where you're God, the long one where you're delivering food on that droid, it's too long and it's not even hard.
Oh my goodness. When it first came out, there was a bug. I can't remember if it made it to live, but it was definitely on the test server where the timer never ended in the easier mode. So I was just doing it, and I was doing it on stream, and I was doing it for like 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't understand. Do I have to like do so many? Am I failing? When does this ever stop?
Does this restaurant ever close?
Not that long, at least. But yeah, the hard mode is quite hard, and it does go on for a while. I do like that there's mini games. I think it's really fun. I usually do it like at least once or twice in an event now that it's a reoccurring thing. It's very fun and silly, and I like that the cooking ingredient one does have those 2 secret achievements now that we know how to get them as well.
Yeah, I guess I'll give you the achievements for that were, they were pretty fun to get, but they're too long. The one where they deliver the food is too long.
Just do the story mode. Why are you even doing the hard mode? The rewards are so easy to get. Relax, Mal. I do want to talk about something in this event that I think is just absolutely fabulous, and that is the World Boss Hunt. I heard Mal complaining about it, doing it 3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe that's not the way to approach this event. What I really like, though, is there's a reason to go do World Bosses again, a reason to group up and work on these rewards together, and everyone can kind of jump in. There's not a lot of like skill or gear requirements, just the willingness to work together and kind of follow the instructions to get into a group. We're seeing that kind of continuing on into the expansion as groups are still forming for world bosses to farm materials.
It's true. It's true. I think that if you're new to the game or a lower level, or, maybe you're not into ops or flashpoints or PvP, it can be fun. It's fun for people. Not me, but it's fun for a lot of other people.
I like that it's a type of group content that you can do without necessarily having to be on voice comms or having to talk back and forth a lot like you would for operations.
No, it's true. It's true. Another one you don't need voice comms for is the Nar Shadda Nightlife.
You don't even need friends.
I like the nightlife, baby.
So the Nar Shadda Nightlife event is a gambling event, and that comes with its own risks and rewards. Long and short, you get tokens, you put them into a slot machine, and you have certain percentages of winning different items. Unlike a normal casino, you don't win credits. Instead, you can win rare items or a special type of gambling currency that you can use to buy different rewards. There's some really fun ones, like a dance pad for your stronghold. There's a blast pad, which is really fun. It like launches your character up in the air in your stronghold. You can get your friends to set themselves on fire with the fire pads, normal stuff like that. And there's lots of interesting rewards that can only be won, kind of like a special companion, special mount, stuff like that. There's a little bit of questing that they added down the line. Originally, there was only the gambling, but each year they kind of added a little bit more. So there are a bunch of quests related to it. And you no longer have to really spend credits on the event anymore like you used to. Now you can earn tokens more easily by running content like heroics, flashpoints, whatever it is you like to do in game. What do you think about this one?
We played it a little when it first came out, but it was mostly just standing in front of those things, pressing a button. And at the end of the day, I got better things to do than that.
Right.
So,
when I first started playing, I had a lot more time. A lot more free time. I also wasn't sleeping nearly as much. I was very typical young gamer. More time than sense, And I really enjoyed it at the time. I'd be like, happily clicking my little machine and I'd be chatting with my friends. I'd be watching a Netflix, whatever, just enjoying my life. And I really liked it at the time. But now coming back as an older adult, no, I'd rather be doing literally anything else. There's still some of the rewards that I really want, but I just don't want to sit there and farm them. Even last time they added some new rewards, I didn't want to sit there and get the rewards so I could record them and show them to everyone. I was just like, this is brutal. I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, they had some cool ones, I think, that came out this last iteration. I guess this.
Yeah, the sunglasses.
God, summer is coming again. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Where did the time go? Oh man, I might have to play this year just to see what's in there. I have a bunch of tokens. They're dropping off things. I'm like, what are these for?
You get them quite fast if you're actually doing content during the event. I think the only thing I don't like about the event is obviously gambling can hit hard for a lot of people. For most of us, it's just like, I like to click the button. It's fine. Other people are like, I need to go spend $120 on Hypercase to sell to get credits to then buy tokens for the, right? It's not a healthy thing.
That's not healthy. That's spending your real world money.
Right. So if you see your friends doing that, really, really discourage them. If you feel close to them, have that talk with them about how it hurts them, not helps them in any way. There's nothing in the game. You do not get to win it big in the game. Nothing in game will get you a house or save your family or pay your medical bills or anything like that.
It will not. But there's also another event around the holiday time where you can win yourself some stylish trees.
Beautiful. Good segue. And that is the Life Day event. I want to say the least interesting event, but everyone kind of likes it as far as I can tell. It's got the least going on.
'Tis the season. Yeah.
What do you do during the Life Day event?
Oh, you throw snowballs at people? I don't know. It really makes one of my friends really mad when we throw snowballs at him. He doesn't like to see the snow puffing off him.
So
You should never have told us that. Now I just do it all the time.
You can pick up this snowball thrower from the vendor, and every time you throw a snowball at someone you haven't thrown a snowball recently, you get a chance at a little reward, a little type of currency you can spend on rewards during the event. You're kind of meant to do it while doing other things. Like, you're not really... It's not an event with a set of quests or anything like that, but as Mal said, you could throw them at your friends. You can also go throw them on some droids on Nar Shadda for an increased chance and some more unique rewards. And it's fun because people run around in these big packs of people just launching snowballs at these overheated droids. It's very silly.
Cool off, cool off. Probably just a big mountain of snow, those poor droids. I played a lot when it first came out, and then they came out with the hug a Wookiee 1,500 times, and I was like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't hugged one Wookiee. They can hug themselves. They have big arms.
A hug everlasting.
Maybe I need a hug. Who's going to come hug me 1,500 times?
I'm really bad at getting within range for the hug, so Mal, if you stand perfectly still and let me awkwardly maneuver around you, I'll hug you. But
I'll wait.
Thank you.
Buy your plane ticket. I'm going to stand outside and wait. Hurry up. It's kind of cold here still for spring.
Do you want to hear the saddest story?
Yes.
About hugging and Star Wars The Old Republic? So some of you may have heard that I met my husband through Star Wars The Old Republic. We just met through chatting and playing and stuff like that. Nothing crazy. But my family is not really big on hugging. They kind of stopped after the age of like 5. And I was crying to him the first time we were finally going to meet. I was like sobbing my poor little Star Wars heart out. I don't know how to hug. I don't know what to do with my hands. So I was kind of like in game with that Wookiee trying to line up.
Aww.
I was explained, you just do what feels naturally. You hug them.
If you go too far south, Grandma will tell you. Oh, my family is all Italian, so, you come in my house, immediately your family, okay, my dad will give you 5 hugs, he'll immediately feed you food, you will be stuffed to the brim, you will have drinks, there will be music, it's crazy.
Sounds like a great life day to me.
Happy life day.
So you're saying everybody in your family is happy, nobody is disappointed when they visit your house?
Nope. But I know how other people in the SWTOR house can get together after these events and disappoint some people. Disappointing other people. Oh, right. So, for 2 of these events, there is what people call a Lair Boss tied to the event. I actually would love to see them add Lair Bosses if they use Dark versus Light as a rotating event. But as I have written here, I should probably just put that dream in my pipe and smoke it, because it'll never happen. Anyway, the Lair Bosses currently tied to the events are the Xenoanalyst 2. Do not forget the 2. And the Eyeless. They have achievements tied to them that are oddly enough in the Operations section under Epic Enemies.
I would like to apologize for Mal's obsession with where achievements are located in the achievement categories in the Legacy panel. I just think the events are fun. I think she's got a little stranglehold on the idea of everything should be perfectly set in its correct location.
Like, make it make sense. If you weren't looking for it, how would you know to look there when you're looking in the event?
Nah, I agree. They're real funky location.
Yeah, and now it's all the same color, so,
They'll fix that. Hopefully, I saw them post about it in the forums somewhere.
It's gonna be rainbow fucking colors. We're gonna open it and go, oh God, where are my sunglasses? Shit, put it back. Just put it blue. I'm sorry, we'll never ask you for anything.
Speaking of rainbow colors, the Xenoanalyst is the first limited time event Lair Boss we're going to talk about. He is a big robot that you fight in a really big colorful area during the Gree event. I am a huge fan of these 2 event bosses we're going to talk about, and that is because, 1, there's a reason to go do them no matter what your level. Like, doesn't matter your gear or anything like that, you can do them and get the rewards for the event, and pretty much everyone loves cosmetics. And 2, you can bring in inexperienced groups of 8 or 16 people. You don't need to have gear, you don't need to have experience. As long as you got your raid lead can kind of explain what people need to do, You can just throw people into the pile, and I love that. That's something that is very dear to my heart in this game.
It's really cool. On story mode, like you said, anyone can do it. A group of 8, a group of 16. For hard mode, however, the eyeless I don't think is super bad if people can understand to not stand in green puddles. I actually don't find that one super difficult. It's pretty much rinse and repeat the mechanics. Fight the boss, get out of the purple circle, get out of the green circle, fight the ads. That's all it is. But the Xeno Analyst too,
He's hard.
I love the mechanics of it. You can die. You can wipe in that. You could wipe in that even in 6.0. Like, respect, Xeno Analyst, respect. It has multiple mechanics you have to do. Everybody has to press those panels when the shield goes up. You have to fight the cores. You could skip it occasionally in 6.0, but I would say now you probably have to fight those cores. Different waves of ads come out. The boss is chunking the tanks. It does a heat beam you have to either reflect or hide from behind a pillar. It's crazy. And then at the end, he's just going cuckoo bananas, burp, burp, just picking people off in your group. I love it.
So Mal's talking about the hard version, and I'm talking about the story, where you can just go in with a group, and here's the only things you really need to know if you're jumping into a story mode Xeno Analyst group. Number 1, if he has an orange shield around him, you cannot hurt him. Number 2, there are going to be some purple buttons showing up around the pillars in the center of the room. It's everyone's responsibility to click those purple buttons. And third, have fun. Kill the boss. If you're the tank, you got a little more you got to pay attention to, but not a ton.
Yeah. So of these two, which do you prefer?
I think. No, I love them both for the same reasons. I think the Rakghoul boss is a little easier, but I like seeing people die to the purple and the green. For the Rakghoul boss, the instructions are similarly very simple. Stay out of the purple at all costs. It will kill you. Do anything you can to get out of it. Use your speed boost, whatever you got. And green circles, do your best to stay out of them if you can. That's all there is for the instructions. But still, people die, and it makes me laugh, and I think it's a great learning experience. But it's not as fun for an experienced player, I think. Xeno Analyst, I think you're less likely to die, but it's so chaotic, and I love watching everything that's going on there, even as an experienced player.
All right. So you're torn, as usual. Be sat on the fence.
I'm never good at this. I'm sorry. Smash pass or airlock. I once asked my stream, we were doing Rakghoul boss every single day. It was a lot of fun. And we had to rename. We had to give him a name. And I gave them options in the poll, and they were able to submit some. They chose overwhelmingly that the Rakghoul Eyeless's name is Big Booty Fungi Boy.
Oh, okay.
We also had another day where we really wanted to give him some pants because, he's running around, his big booty, always gets commented on by every single player every time I play. Well-defined glutes. So we decided we wanted to try and make him some pants. So another player actually gathered together multiple pairs of green bordered pants they'd picked up along the way and mailed them to me so we could patchwork a pair of pants for him.
Oh my.
He didn't keep them on though. Every time I go back in there, still running wild and free.
He's just hulking out of them. Well, speaking of events, Scya, tell us the news. You heard it here last.
If you're listening to this episode close to when it came out, the Relics of the Gree event will be running April 19th to April 26th, so you can visit the Xeno Analyst yourself or maybe try out some PvP. As Mal mentioned, sometime in the summer, we will also see the Nar Shadda Nightlife event popping up. The next update will be 7.0.2, including changes to tech fragments, level scaling, and companions in combat. It's currently available on the test server if you want to try those things out. We don't have a date for this at the time of recording because we're actually recording early, but there's a good chance a date may have been announced by now. So just search online for the words SWTOR Dev Tracker and you can check the official posts there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the news with us. Your Majesty, We cannot wait to see you at the celebration, the Star Wars celebration, in which you have a press pass.
Oh, so famous. Thanks for joining us for the episode, guys. We'll see you later.
See you next time. Bye.
You've been listening to the Starforge podcast with Scya and Mal. We know you have your choice of podcasts, and you chose the right one. New episodes drop every Friday on Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Swtorista's YouTube channel, and just about every other podcast platform in existence. For show notes, pictures, and other information, visit starforgepodcast.com. Hit us up on Twitter at StarforgeCast. We love hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah, so, Scya, to me, the best part of these events is it gives you an opportunity to gather up a group of people and make each other sad. Or you can do it all by yourself. No, that's the segue. Damn it. I feel like we had the segue here. Anyway, now wait for it. Mal does a clap. Jesus Christ.